Okay, guys, we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I will be your friendly dungeon master today. Tonight, we are continuing on with our ongoing campaign, playing Paizo Publishing's very cool Pathfinder 2nd Edition. And our setting for this is Greg Gillespie's very awesome Barrowmaze complete setting. Although we are making some substantial changes to the. Did I say substantial? I meant substantial changes to the setting material. But with me tonight are the stars of the Barrowmaze campaign. And they've even after 21 sessions, they are still coming back for more, in spite of near character deaths and potentially sacrificing all to the mother of toads. It would be for a dramatic conclusion if you suddenly were just have one group of characters you guys were playing again.
That's true.
Braving the Barrowmaze tonight are the stars. First up is Steve-O.
Good evening. I'm playing Warman Silverstone, the intrepid Dwarven Storm Druid.
Nice. And next up is Carl.
Hello, I'm playing Carl, and I play Buka Duskwort, who is a halfling alchemist.
That's some pretty meta stuff there. You're playing Carl, playing Buka?
Yeah, I know.
Not some nesting doll gaming
Who
there.
are you, really?
And next up is Arlen.
Hi, I'm Arlen, and I'm playing Angus. He is sort of like the other Angus, except not quite anymore.
Yeah.
And next up is John.
Hello everybody, I'm John. I'm playing Zuko Flamebearer. He is a goblin primal elementalist sorcerer who's playing it being a bard.
Nice. And last but not least is George.
Hey, I'm George. I'm playing human wizard criminal named Bargo the Infamous.
Excellent. So, tonight we, what did we do last session? We're picking up with the characters who were in Bogtown in the Duchy of Eric, and maybe let me move on over to our bigger map here, just to situate everything here. Boom. So, where we have been is the brave heroes have been separated into two different groups now. Oh, Oberon is Jeff's character, right. I'm staring at this character and I'm like, who is he again? Alright, let me see if I can situate here. So, fucking Norton. Jeez, surprise. A random encounter from Norton is always a risk on streaming nights. Are you sure you don't want to set up the Norton taskbar? Fuck off, Norton! No! God damn it. Anyway, so our two groups of heroes have been divided for the last little while. One group of heroes, played by all the players, are in Helix, and then another group of characters played by the same players have been in Ironguard Mott, and then they made their way down to Bogtown, and then they ventured out into the Barrow Moor in search of something. And guys, what happened last session?
Okay, I have my copious notes here. Essentially, everybody wound up being in Bogtown the previous session, but were separated and reconvened to kind of quickly get to that point where we woke up in the morning, some people with massive hangovers.
Yep.
What they were up to the night before, and we were in search of the Mother of Toad. So what we knew about her was that you have to give her praise and admiration, you have to try to impress her in some way, and you have to offer something of worth, at least something of worth to ourselves. And it's up to her to judge that, and then she will assign us a task.
Did she say that? Or did they say
that's
that?
What we heard. That's what we heard. Yeah. Don't know if that's true or not. So we headed out the next morning. I think we waited another day, actually.
Yep.
And we head out the next morning, and we.
I think you guys head out right away. I think you guys all.
We did? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because Bargle was a little concerned about running into.
Oh, right. That's right. Bargle spent the night and then met the guys the next morning, and then we all went. Right. Okay. So then we went out, and along the way we encountered some runes.
Echo.
Yep, I hear that too. Two giant arches that were covered in snow, and we were attacked by a half dozen ghouls, and then like 100 black toads appeared, sort of out of nowhere, suddenly surrounding us. And we went about 100 yards to find a hole in the earth that was about 10 feet by 10 feet, led down, and it had this kind of hot, thick, smelly mist
Yeah.
coming out of it. And as we ventured in, we saw a frog stuck to the walls that became luminescent as we entered. And they were shedding this weird, eerie green light. And the tunnel was getting hotter and hotter. And we finally arrived to a large grotto with these, like, I think you described them as lily pads that had these iridescent colors with these glowing toads on them. And then sitting on a throne of frogs at the far side was a humanoid form in rags with a staff across her knees, lean and tall on this sort of island. And all the toads were watching us. And we heard telepathically her say, "What brings you to my lair, and what gifts do you offer the mother of toads?" And that is where we ended.
And that's where we left things. So, what you guys realize is that, you know, standing with you. I mean, first off, we'll move your characters over to the. Let's see here. Let's use. We can use the same map we were using before. Just need to track your characters here anyway. Where on earth? I lost you. Hey, there you are, guys. I see everybody. Say goodbye. Boom.
Bye.
Boom. There we go. Whoop. I grabbed two teeny tiny Sir Yvain and what's his name? Badonk.
It would be cool if there was a teeny tiny Sir Yvain.
You're all doomed. Buka, I think the last thing you recall is, you know, scrambling through the Barrowmaze Barrowmoor trying to catch up with your allies. Let me show you where I put you guys here too. Boom. There we go. So, but before we went live, we were talking about what you guys want to, how you want to approach this, because the Mother of Toads is from what you've heard, a fairly powerful being, and that there are likely some potential consequences. Well, not likely. You've heard about the consequences that have befallen other petitioners who have appeared before the Mother of Toads. So here's what we're going to do is I'm going to allow you guys to have half an hour to chat about this, to just talk about strategy, talk about how you want to phrase this shit, who wants to do the talking, and so forth. Then what we're going to do is we'll allow you to make... Well, let's start with this here. Why doesn't everyone give me an occultism roll, please?
Cool.
Let's see, and whether you're trained in it or not, I'm not fussed.
Okay. Not terrible. Nice.
Pretty good, Angus.
Yeah.
I rolled low.
Occultism. You think I know a little bit more about occultism?
I would, you know. Oof.
Yeah.
Oh, and George, you get another hero point for doing the summary, too.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
Okay. All right, so... Bargle and Angus, you both rolled well enough to be able to ask me one question about it. Be careful how you phrase it, because it will need to be only one question, and I will be applying all my most pernicious rules lawyer instincts to the interpretation of said question.
Like doing a wish spell.
Exactly.
Okay.
What do we got?
Well, can I just... so we have some information about the Mother of Toads that we got way back, but I don't know who else was there. I don't remember if Buka was there.
So let's do this. Over the course of your conversation, you guys can then go back to me and ask. You don't need to ask the questions before you guys start talking this through.
Okay.
So yeah, like you just, as you're going through, hey, Sean's in chat.
Oh, great. I just don't want to have somebody ask a question that we do already know the answer to.
Are you really?
Including myself. So
just so everybody knows, I have prepared kind of like a poem to appeal to the Toad Mother of Toads, and it's
awesome.
fairly good. If I don't want to toot my own horn, but if we have any ideas, I can throw it in there.
That's great. That's awesome.
I'm going to make use of my Zuko's inherent skills.
Cool. Fantastic. So I just want to mention why we were looking for her in the first place.
Yeah. I will
That's
tell
a
you,
good
too,
idea.
this is not going to be a skill challenge. This is strictly a role-playing thing.
Okay, awesome. That's cool.
Just FYI. So,
Very cool.
trying to
Okay, so we're
maximize
gonna-
your specific
what you're saying
skills.
is-
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna lose. I got it.
It was like, I remember correctly, it was a vision Sir Yvain got from a ghost that prompted us to go see the Mother of Toads.
That's right. Exactly.
Not just any ghost.
Yeah,
The
so
ghost
now
of the first PC fatality in the game.
Trying not to say his name so it doesn't.
That's a good idea, actually. And so he had a vision. In that vision, we basically, the Mother of Toads was in that vision, but what was problematic was not her. What was problematic was that there were these froglings that sort of were becoming more and more dangerous and more populous in the Barrowmaze. And it had something to do with their breeding grounds, and these froglings. It's just basically like a cemetery / breeding ground.
And there's something
and
about petrified wood or something.
Say that again.
Petrified wood and trees.
Exactly. That there's a monolith oak there,
Yep.
and as well as great treasures, which is the thing that Bargo remembers for sure. So we don't know if the Mother of Toads is their shaman or leader or something, or she's not participating in what's happening, or if she, what's going on. But we do know that she's incredibly well informed, and she's always been here. So she's, she knows this place better than anybody. But she's incredibly dangerous and etc. So that's basically why we're coming, just to kind of think about.
Well, and also it's worth mentioning Sir Yvain, getting mixed up already.
Yeah.
Sir Yvain saw a pure black toad, an unblemished pure black toad that looked directly at him in the vision, which is not what the Mother of Toads herself seems to look like, at least now, right? Yeah. So it's...
Yeah, you can actually see her face. I mean, she's definitely not a toad.
Yeah.
You can see, I think she's all wrapped in those scraps, too.
Well, but specifically, we can tell that she's not, like, toad-shaped, right? She's humanoid-shaped.
Yeah.
So it's unclear who actually, because one of our original theories was that figure was the Mother of Toads. So if the Mother of Toads doesn't look like that, might be worth asking who exactly or what exactly that vision was of.
That's a great idea.
Added to poem.
Do you want to start? So, Arlen, do you feel like Angus now has been caught up on all this? I would think that we would have discussed this, obviously, since we were all heading towards the Mother of Toads, so you would be filled in completely.
Yeah.
So do you want to make that your question to her? It's definitely a question.
Well, I think we get. Do we get a question from her or a question from the DM? Because my understanding was.
Sorry,
I meant question from the DM.
Yes. DM. Sorry. Yes. Yeah.
So then the other thing that I'm wondering about as a question to the DM, George, you said that the Mother of Toads values based on what we value. Did we get explicitly told that, or is that just an assumption?
I have written down offer something of worth to ourselves.
Okay.
So I may have misheard or misquoted that. And that is, if I did, that's my character fault. Bargo doesn't listen too well.
Oh, he listens fine. He just doesn't hear.
Well, he doesn't hear. I mean, mostly because he's looking for signs of people coming after him. So I think it's understandable.
Yeah.
So that's what I heard, Arlen.
Okay.
So I may have gotten that wrong, but that's my.
Well, yeah, I figured if you were just assuming that we might want to actually ask that question, because we'd hate to say, like, well, here's my childhood doll that I go to sleep with every night, and the Mother of Toads says, I don't give a shit about this.
Right, I'm going to kill you.
All right, the other thing that we were told is that we should flatter the mother and compliment her favorite child.
Okay.
The dwarf that Buka hung out with told her that. Or was it the barmaid that he slept with.
Well, yeah,
Got
Buka
that
finally
mixed up?
escaped.
She was dwarf shaped.
Okay, fair enough. That's a good. I think that's a good thing as well to ask. So those are two good questions. Do we want to start with those as our DM questions, or does anybody else have anything that they think is more pressing to find out? Because I'm assuming we're having a group discussion, and then we can ask.
This is
Kevin.
like I'm assuming you guys had this conversation before because this is the flashback to you guys sitting around the campfire when you were taking your lunch break, say earlier in the day. Like, okay, we should really talk through how this is going to go because it doesn't sound like there's a lot of room for error in this. So, all right, let's talk this through.
Okay, totally. Okay, so what do you guys? I think those are good questions. Anybody have anything else?
Yeah, as far as what we're going to offer of personal worth, I've got Zuko's, but I'm not sure what everybody else wants to offer.
I do. Buka does.
I don't know either. So I think based on what the answer to that question is, I might have a different opinion because I don't really have much stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
I imagine that she's going to ask us each in turn what we offer for the knowledge. So.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, we're gonna. Kevin almost gave us an answer for free.
Well, what I want you guys to be, beings like this are often fans of. Imagine the way I'm picturing this creature and this character is as if it was a Neil Gaiman type creation, where it will not take things. It is figurative speech in a lot of ways. And it's almost like a being of figurative speech rather than literal speech.
Yeah.
This thing, if you're offering things, tasks, things like that, those could be, you can think beyond the physical because this creature certainly exists far beyond that.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. And the fact that she's been here all this time and she's so wise, it's because she is seeking to know things. She's not shutting the world out. So I think knowledge is probably, metaphysical things are probably just as important to her as physical things.
Along the lines of what Zuko was going to do.
Yeah.
So.
Cool. Okay.
Steve-O, what do you think, bud?
Yeah.
I'm a little behind these guys. I think that I'm supportive so far. I'd like to see this Toad Queen and see what she has to say when she sees us. Is she gonna what's her reaction?
And we can, once we have the answers to those questions, we can then have our real discussion of how we're going to approach this.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you guys ready to ask me your first question?
Yeah. So again, we got to remember to phrase this properly.
The DM is a dick. All right, what do we got?
Arlen, you're good with words.
How are you with accepting blame, dude?
I'm quite good at accepting blame.
No blame to go around. But I can ask one, and you want to ask the other one.
Sure.
How about that?
Yeah.
Which one
do
do
you
you-
want to start, George, or do you want me to?
I think the answer to your question may change my question potentially.
Mm.
Because you were asking about what that toad creature is.
Yeah.
Because I might instead ask a question about that toad creature if that's we think is important. We can have a discussion to decide, but I think that's key because that was in the vision, in the dream. Nightmare.
Well, so I'm also wondering, is that not a question for the DM, but a question for the Mother of Toads to ask specifically, because we're asking about the content of the vision
That's
from
true.
her.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're right. We should ask something about her.
I don't want
should
to reveal too much about my poem just because, the moment's the moment. But I do have information asking about that in there. So.
Okay, cool. All right, so why don't then I start with my question because that does have to do with her.
Okay.
So I'm wording this, Kev, so if this
Okay.
is not what I'm asking yet, I'll tell you when I have it. So, I wish for 1 million gold, but no.
So cancer, right? Yeah, got it.
Exactly. So let's see. We want to know if the Mother of Toads is wants from us things that
Is her name Susan? No. Okay. Arlen, your question.
Martha, damn, that was 2 questions. Does the Mother of Toads want something from us that only we find valuable, or that she would find valuable, or no? Does she want? Is she looking for something that we personally find valuable, or that has value on its own? Something like that, like has objective value versus subjective value, basically, is the question. I'm not wording it yet. This is just me talking through it.
No, but I think that's the right question to ask. Is
okay.
Or maybe even simpler. Does the Mother Toads place the value on our gifts that we place upon our gifts?
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So that's my question.
Great. It's good. See, I told you.
That's your question?
Yes.
Does the Mother of Toad place values on your gifts that you place on your gifts?
Yes.
Uncertain.
Interesting.
Well, that's not very nice.
I would be more careful with your phrasing.
Okay. All right. We've got another question. I don't know if we want to try to go at the same question, or if we want to try to get something else.
Well, so my other idea for a question.
Here's what I'll give you an opportunity to do: is if you
Yeah.
want to try and rephrase that question to be more specific.
Mm-hmm.
Let me give you a suggestion here. So
Great.
one of the things that this is a little bit of day job stuff. There are two kinds of questions, broadly speaking. There are open questions and there are closed questions, or what are called leading questions. A leading question or a closed question presumes an answer. An open question is looking for evidence, for just you don't know what it's going to say. The other one, you often, you should, otherwise don't ask it. You should always know the answer to that question.
Right.
So
like, did you steal this car?
Or
I sold
this car, didn't you?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got it.
Yeah.
I remember that from
And if
my
it-
trial.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay, so I've got a better one.
Okay, cool.
If I offer the Mother of Toads my sword, under the assumption that this is my father's sword and therefore has great weight as an heirloom and is my only source of protection in the wilderness, will she place particular value upon it because it has that value to me?
That is too specific of a question to be able to answer, because it'll tell you what her response would be.
Right, that's
Okay.
true. But
Okay.
you're so right in the middle of that somewhere.
Yeah.
So
Right in the
we
middle
found
of that
the two
somewhere,
sides, yeah.
Let me see if I can help here. Is what you are trying to seek whether or not the value that the Mother of Toads places on your offerings corresponds to an objective value that other things may place on it, that subjectively what you place on that gift, or is it something that she values independent of those two things?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that sounds...
Is that what you're looking for?
That sounds
think
great
so.
to me.
Yeah.
Okay. It is the third. The
Uh-huh.
Mother of Toads does not necessarily want you to give up things. She's not necessarily looking for you to give her riches. It's something that she values.
Okay.
Beings,
So you got...
capricious beings like this, it's a matter of understanding what they would value and what would represent a good gift. A gift isn't always giving of yourself, remember.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Right. Okay, and so do you guys think the second question, the sort of follow-up, should be what does she value?
I already know what she values.
What is it?
Knowledge, sight.
I think that's probably true, but
So I was also
wanna,
thinking it might be worth asking, because we heard a lot of rumors about it, whether or not the Mother of Toads is actually as old as the Barrowmaze, basically. If she is an entity that is kind of grown out of the Barrowmaze, or if she's some external entity that has come and put down her position within the Barrowmoor.
And is there something in particular that you want to get out of that answer that you think will
Well, I
change?
think that what I'm thinking is that seems to me to, I don't know, that just seems relevant to me, but I'm not sure exactly why.
It's an interesting question. I definitely want to know the answer to that for sure. But I'm just wondering if it change. Would that knowing the answer to that change our approach?
Well,
Right.
we know that the Barrowmaze had a different purpose, or sort of has multiple purposes at it, and there's the whole influence of the corruption.
Yeah.
And if she is stemming from the Barrowmaze or from the Barrowmoor, then wouldn't she be corrupted in the same way?
Yeah. Or would she be? Would she be happy that we've come to tell her about the corruption that we've discovered, and the fact that we're willing to try to do something about it, and that will actually ultimately help her?
Yeah. Yeah.
Ding, ding.
Okay, so that's a good question. So I like this question. We have this person in the chat who said, "Or did the Barrowmoor spread out from her?" It seems like a good question. So do you want me to ask that, guys?
Or is your shitty DM just cribbing from seeing It recently?
Oh, great.
I actually liked part 2 better than the first part.
Actually, I haven't seen the second one yet.
I haven't. Yeah, me either. All right, so I want to ask, is the Mother of Toads an entity that came to the Barrowmoor from somewhere else, or did the Barrowmoor spread out from?
Oh, sorry, that was just me, just like throwing bullshit out there.
Oh, so
just an FYI. Yeah, I don't want you to.
But no, actually, we think that's a good question. We want to know if she's an arrival to the Barrowmoor, or if she's part and parcel of the Barrowmoor. Like
like asking if she's tied to it somehow intrinsically, or if she adopted it.
Right.
No, it's a good question. So, what you've heard is, again, like, the Adric, your new dwarven bard friend there, he told you that, like, since, like, before his great-grandpappy had a beard, this thing, she was out there. I'm not sure you've heard of a time when she wasn't there. And remember, though, that the civilization that made the Barrowmoors, or the Barrowmounds, the civilization that made the Guardian Barrows, it's completely unknown to you. It's so old and so forgotten. It's been lost to time. And I don't know who rolled 26. Angus did.
Angus, yeah.
I think that I don't think that's. Yeah, I think it's too specific of a question to know whether she appears. It is definitely something you could try and keep an eye out for as you explore those mounds to see if is iconography matching her. But the oldest, living, or the oldest part of the historical record that you've been able to access, by which I mean like written language, it still refers to her being there, and that she had been there for.
As a sort of related thing, does the oldest, is there any record of whether or not it was a moor back when the mounds were made?
No idea.
No idea.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm not sure. Like that's you. There may be sages out there, or libraries somewhere that, like, in the deepest depths of it, that it's known. But it seems that the best that you've got is that the rumors that the Nurgle corrupted these, the depths of the Barrowmaze, but that was after that lost civilization, fell after that. So,
well, I'm thinking if it was a whole lot drier, it wouldn't be a great place for froglings or toads to live. If it was like that but if we don't know, then
Right. So basically, as far as we can go back in history, the farthest point back that we know about both of these things is the Barrowmoor and her. So we don't know which came first, or if they came at the same time, but we know that they've always been there as far as history goes.
And you don't know whether you know that the barrow mounds themselves, that they are not, you know, soaken or sodden lands the way that the moor is. They're a strange patch of dry land in the middle of this barrow moor, this, you know, 30 miles by 20 miles or whatever it is, moor. So whether that means that the mounds were built on the one dry patch in the middle of the moor, or whether the moor spread around everything and the mounds remained immune from the spread of the moors, don't know.
Yeah. Okay. All right, those are our 2 questions. So now we should start figuring out what our strategy is in terms of approaching her. I think Zuko is right to have some kind of poem. That's sort of a.
I wonder how often she hears poetry.
Yeah, totally. And the poetry will have knowledge within it. So that's good too. But it seems like the basic approach is that we're coming to her and we're seeking, this is really super basic. We're coming to her, we want to get in, and I'm asking everybody if this makes sense. We're coming to her to ask her information, which are a few different items. One of which is about the pure black toad. One of which is like what's going on with the froglings. One of which is maybe how does the corruption in some of these mounds, is it related to her or affect her, or does she want to do something about it? Those are at least 3 of the things that I know if we want to ask. So we want something from her, which is information. And we have to essentially have this parlay with her to get her to the point she even will talk to us and potentially hear us out. So we have to impress her, and we have to what was it? We have to impress her, we have to give her praise and admiration, and ultimately we have to offer her something.
I'm thinking that in the very end we want to know the source of all this evil that's rising and the lore behind it so that we can tackle it. Is kind of what we're going after.
Yes, I agree. So it seems like the approach should be to figure out who's going to be the sort of leader for this encounter with her. Who, not that everybody can't talk, but just, we can make sure we put our best foot forward. And start out by praise, admiration, impressing her, and seeing how that goes. And then if that goes well enough, then we offer her something that we value, and we'll each have to maybe kind of think of something and see how that goes. And then we can answer our questions potentially. So it sort of seems like the order of events if things go well and we don't get killed instantly. Does that make sense to everybody?
Pretty much in agreement, although Zuko may jump the gun on something, so no problem.
That's fair. So who does somebody in particular want to be the leader? Because Bargirl is terrible.
Since Zuko has a poem prepared, I can step into the role if you'd like.
Yeah.
But if anybody else wants to, go in at it too, Zuko will, he's not going to hog the spotlight. Bards are good for short performances and then sit on it and see how you like it. So.
Well, Bargirl definitely doesn't want to do anything until he's required to give something because he'll just screw it up. So I'm totally cool with Zuko taking the lead, and if somebody else wants to back him up, great.
Cool.
Anybody want to be the second in command, or we just want to let Zuko be our...
Your lives are in my hands.
Yep. Let's see how it goes and react.
Okay. So maybe what we'll do is if we have ideas for Zuko as he's speaking to her, we could sort of like tell Zuko instead of talking directly to the Mother Toads. I mean, this could all go south instantly, but keep one conduit information of conversation with her, especially if it's going well with Zuko.
Yeah.
Okay. Steve-O, I think we're getting a little feedback from you there, bud.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Cool.
I'm not hearing it anymore.
Just as a backup plan, if things go wrong,
We're all gonna die. That's what'll happen.
yeah, well, exactly. We're a decent way underground and surrounded by tons and tons of these frogs, which I don't know how much damage they can do, but there's a lot of them, so it could be bad. Is our plan just to? I mean, Bargo's plan would be to run the hell away the second he has to, and he'd probably cast invisibility on himself and do everything he can.
I think waiting through the water is going to give you away.
That's probably true, but he doesn't care. But he has like a bunch of spells, like a spell that allows him to move faster and blah blah blah. So, but the question is, we're just gonna run if things go wrong. Like we're not gonna fight her, are we? I mean, it seems like she's like some ancient, powerful individual.
I can either confirm nor deny what Zuko will do in a moment of pure panic.
Okay, that's fair. All right. Well, this is promising.
Okay.
We have an approach.
All right.
Does anybody have anything else? Okay, you ready? Good. Okay, I'm good.
Okay, so where did I flash? Hey, there's Darwin.
Oh, hi. How are you?
Hey, little man.
You smiling? You're smiling.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi, buddy.
Yeah.
Look at that smile.
Okay. Good boy.
That's so great.
All right. Thank you.
So I have to say goodbye, good night to him.
Look at that smile he had for you too. That was
I
so
know
cute.
he's great.
Awesome. Okay, so are we ready to jump back into the scene in the whatever chamber that you find yourself in with the Mother of Toads?
Just to be clear, I do have mage armor on.
I'm sure that will be of great assistance in this.
Exactly.
Should this turn to combat?
Disintegrated into nothing.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so what we find, guys, is as a refresher of where you currently stand. You stand in a sprawling grotto, and where you are is on the far side. Is depending on your height, is either up to around your knee in water or up past your waist in our smaller companions' cases. Buka, you're not sure what happened, but you stand here now in place of where the pale dwarf Oberon once stood. The chamber you are in is illuminated by a kaleidoscopic spectrum of lights twinkling down from these enormous stalactites hanging from the ceiling. In the center of this subterranean grotto is an island, and that island is full of toads. Toads small enough to lift with a finger, some large enough to draw a full wagon. And in the center of this, you see, sitting atop a toad with its mouth seemingly open and arms resting on other toads, is a tall figure wrapped in tattered and stained bandages with a long staff draped across its knees. It has just inquired of you what you bring for the Mother of Toads. You can sense as well, guys, that on every side of you there are more toads lurking. You can see enormous bulbous eyes coming up from the water, the size of which and the spacing of which suggest a titanic figure lurking beneath the surface. What happens next?
Well, Zuko's gonna flinch back a little bit based on being mind talked to, and look around at his allies, and straighten his back up a little bit, acting confident, and wading forward a few steps, and then he's gonna go, and then he's gonna start speaking. hesitantly and then slightly calmer as he goes. Greetings, wise one, seer, keeper of secrets, and mother of toads. Well met in this phosphorescent and human dead that you called home. Seekers of knowledge we are, weary, battered, yet as you we eagerly seek. So no boasting you shall hear from me, in this I am meek. For in a vision by the hand of ghostly spirit brought, it is your knowledge within the Barrowmaze that is sought. The undead rise, the secret evils stir, tainting the land ever so more. For its source and lore utmost we so search, of this you we implore. Froglings grow in power and number near a monolith of petrified wood. Pure black toad at the center, eye sinister cold, find it we should. For my part, I have no gold, gems, or trinkets from a coffer, but it is stories, news, and visions from afar that I offer. I submit myself to your power, offering a piece of myself to satisfy your desire. See through my eyes as I travel, surely you tire of seeing Justice Meyer.
Nice, very, very good. Obviously, you get a hero point for that.
Yay.
And Zuko is an accomplished oralist. He obviously is used to being on stage, and he's used to projecting out. So he's making great use of the acoustics of this thing. His little voice, little bit rich voice, kind of echoes out across this. But the echoes of your voice kind of finally die down, and the being seems unstirred for a moment.
Zuko looks hesitant, like, oh no.
Then this very, very slowly, the being raises the staff with one arm, places it down, and the tongue seems to push her up as she stands. And you can see that as she rises up, the tattered robes that made up the lower half of its body, it hid a series of legs, or a pair of legs, that look very much like the legs of an amphibian. So this thing kind of lumbers forward in this awkward manner, but we still can't see its face, and it seems to be unusually long as well too. Like its torso is too long, its arms are perhaps too long, and it moves in a really unnatural way. It moves sort of to the edge of the island, and as it does, its enormous toad, court kind of move to the side. And it stops, and then it gestures up, and its hands are much longer than what you would expect from a human. The skin is the pale, greasy, skin of a reptilian or an amphibian, and there are carbuncles on the back of this thing's hand, as if the back of a toad. And it says, "Approach, Zuko Flamebearer."
Zuko looks back and takes a big gulp and starts wading forward slowly.
Okay. You're moving towards, there's toads that you're passing here that kind of flank as almost like an honor guard that are easily 3-4 times your size. Right. As you pass by, they could gobble you up in one chomp. But you make your way past them safely, though you feel the glare of their giant bulbous eyes. You walk up to the front of where she stands, and that hand reaches down, and she touches your face, and you can
his body's shaking a little bit, but as the hand touches, he calms, and it's like he's accepting his fate.
Okay. And the hand, it smells like, if you've ever smelled like a turtle's terrarium, or it's that sickening wet stink of amphibians, and it lays its hand on you and leans in, and it whispers something in your ear. Hold on here. And as it leans back, it takes you behind the ear, brings you in, and there's this disgusting licking across your face. And then it lets go and looks down at you and says, "What would you ask of the mother of toads, Zuko?"
Zuko gulps mightily again and looks back up and says, "I seek to quell the evil in the Barrowmore and make a home for myself here, but I must know its source." And
you can hear this low croaking kind of ambitions you have, little goblin, but only one life you have to live. Your tale brings me pleasure, so I offer you a chance to ask your favor again.
Zuko pauses for a moment, looks down in thought.
It seems to sort of lean down, like closer to your height. If you can imagine, like its legs are sort of spreading out further than they should, and the body is almost arced and craned down, as if like a crude approximation of an amphibian's stance. Leaning again on that staff. Zuko, would you kindly give me a perception check?
Sure.
Nice. Okay. As you're sort of thinking, you do spare a quick look up, because there's a little flash of color. On the top of her staff is a small toad or frog. Well, it's probably a frog. It's got clean or smooth skin. It's, a dark green with mottled backings on it with some yellows and whatnot. But the thing that draws your attention is it has the color of its eyes. One of the eyes is a brilliant, clear, almost cloudless sky blue. And the other one is a burning orange. When I say burning, I mean the color seems to dance in its eye.
Zuko wants it now. So Zuko stands up and he thinks. He says, He says,
she leans in and whispers again. "Time, do you wish, little Zuko? Shall we see what your companions bring for me?"
Zuko nods.
So and you hear this, like it's a sound of like twisting leather as it leans back up, and the staff seems to impossibly like reach to the length that's appropriate to its height, and it turns to you all. "You come into my lair. What do you offer?" Your names are clear to me.
I also offer a piece of myself. Mother of Toad.
So it-
Mother of Toad.
begins making its way over towards you, Buka. Its stride is much bigger than what you would expect to. It moves very, very quickly across here. And it's soon looming over you, Buka. And then with that same creaking sound of leather goes down, that but a bizarre toad on the end of its staff looking down at you. And what do you offer, little half-man?
So I pull out. I say, "Oh, your great opulence and corpulence. I admire all your children, especially the largest one that views us. But I give you a piece of myself that is part of my essence, and I give it to you freely for service." And I kind of grab Wart, and I hand it to her. And bow.
Wow, okay. So...
Wart might be protesting, but...
Yeah. I always picture Wart like the little animated food things from the extra gum commercials. So, yeah, she looks at this, and her hand again kind of seemingly being way longer than it should be, takes Wart. And she looks at you. Your offer is generous. She looks at you, and she gestures into her robes, and Wart kind of disappears within there. She leans into you and whispers something in your ear. And as she does that, she leans back. And what would you ask of me, Buka Half-Man?
I say only that you love Wart as much as I did, or do.
The whole body is convulsing at this as well, too. You offer your great heart, Buka Half-Man. Would you be my eyes as well?
I could do that.
Then bear my eyes. And the staff kind of leans down. And that crazy-eyed toad kind of hops off and lands on your shoulder.
Wow. Okay.
She looks. Angus the Confused. And Bargle the Bounty. And Werben the Split Stone. What do you three bring, the mother of toads?
Bargle is kind of like hiding a little, like he's sort of be standing behind Angus and Birdman, and he's like, well, and he's clearly intimidated by this creature, but he slowly makes his way towards her, and then he kneels in front of her on one knee.
So you're like almost completely like up to your waist, basically, or your chest in nipples. I was saying nipples, and I'm like, don't use that as a reference. Fucking weirdo.
Immediately, if I...
So you kneel down up to your nipples in the water. It's a weird bit of stage direction there, Kev. You sure you want that in the script? Yes.
Right, exactly.
Nipples are important.
If I don't get it, everybody's fired.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, he does. He's like submerging himself.
Yeah.
Prostrating himself essentially before her. Okay. And kind of becoming one with her, while still being able to converse with her. He says, "I have nothing. I don't have much to give. I'm just a lowly wizard. But what I can give you is something I never give anyone, which is my conscience. I can tell you of the things that have led me to the point where I am in my life, and why there's bounty on my head." And I start to tell her a story, which begins with the fact that I was unjustly accused of a crime. I really did not commit it, but they came after me and they tried to jail me, and I ran. And from then on, I was having to do whatever I could to survive. But I have to confess this one thing, that the stealing and the murders, I began to enjoy it. And it became who I am, and I realized that I always was this person. I was fooling myself my entire life, and it was only luck that I was falsely accused. It was my destiny, and I finally found who I am. I have told no one this ever in my life, but it is the truth, and I give it to you as someone who holds the truth in high regard.
She seems to loom over you still. She's not kneeled down to where you are. She stands well over. And you actually can see that wart now is on the end of that staff. She looks down, and the head seems to stretch closer. Again, there's that sound of twisting or wrenching leather. And then the body slowly goes down as well. The head goes to the side, and she whispers something in your ear.
And he's trying to remain still, even though he's kind of freaking out. It's a lot of typing for she kills you.
So
he just nods,
comes back, and she looks down at you. And again, still can't see its face. It's the ragged form kind of nods. Werbin, the split stone. And stands before you, looking down. What do you bring me? Speaker with the trees.
Great one. I have little by way of possessions, as I am a druid and I live in nature. I offer you the friendship of the storm and the people of the mountains, and the promise that we will respect your lands.
You offer me the secrets of your order.
If that is what you desire, then I will share our knowledge with you.
She steps forward and she pulls something that seems to come out of nowhere from within her robes. And what's in there is a small piece of, it looks like maybe coral or porous stone of some kind. And she says,
Place your hand upon this. Urban the split stone.
I gather my courage and I step forward. I guess I don't have much of a choice, and I bravely place my hand on the stone. And
okay. For the rest of you guys, he places his hand on the stone, and all you see is a brief kind of stagger as he makes contact, and then very almost immediately brings it back. What you feel for in that instance, Werbin, is as if you were falling through blackness for days, if not weeks. And that sickening falling, the lightness in your stomach, the moving of butterflies and whatnot, it seems to persist. So you stagger back, and it says, the mother says,
Long have I wished to know your tongue. Yours may yield the most. Werbin the split stone. Werbin the betrayer of secrets.
and it slowly leans in towards your ear, and it whispers something. And then this thing rears up to a full height. And you can feel its head turn towards Angus. And it reaches you, Angus. And leans down.
And you, warrior, wizard, what do you bring the mother of toads?
I have a riddle.
A
You seem the sort
riddle.
that might enjoy it.
You see it kind of gestures. And then it
To me,
nods.
to me, it seemed a remarkable fate when I learned of the marvel that the beast had swallowed the speech of a man, a thief of the night, a renowned saying in its place itself. Though he swallowed the word, the thieving stranger was no whit the wiser.
She looks at you, or it looks, and leans in. It leans back.
Prepared you were. An insight I have offered. What do you bargain? Speak!
An answer for an answer.
It leans in towards you.
Think you equal to me?
Oh, I think you're going to enjoy my answer.
Just out of character, it knows the answer to your riddle
Oh,
already.
yeah, no, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
So just as an FYI.
Yeah.
Okay. It leans back.
Ask if you dare.
And it's making its way back to the toad, which again kind of like lolls itself open.
Zuko
fall.
looks up. He knows what he wants.
Okay, well, you guys go ahead. It is awaiting your requests.
Okay.
Zuko, I'm letting you lead if you want to still do that.
Gotcha. Well, she asked what favor I desired, and Zuko finally knows. He says, Mother of Toads, that which I desire is exactly what I offer. Knowledge and fire. And a little bit of fire spills from his mouth as he says it. So.
Okay.
He's specifically leaving that up to her to interpret, as dangerous as that is.
Okay.
He wants to bestow, however she wants to interpret it.
Okay.
Is she looking around curiously?
Yeah, she's looking around for see
Okay.
what all of you are asking for.
Okay, so I'll kind of, I have, while she was been talking to the other two, I stepped back out of the water. So I'm like still, but I'm dripping
Yeah.
wet. Excuse me. We came because we discovered corruption in the Barrowmore, and one of our companions had a vision, and you were in this vision, which is what led us to you. And we were hoping perhaps that you might be able to help us, but in doing so, we may be able to help you if you care about the Barrowmore and the Barrowmaze and the Barrowmounds. We have seen that there is corruption, that the Guardian Barrows have been corrupted and their magic is failing, and there are more and more undead, and they are threatening more and more of the Barrowmore and the lands around it. We do not know if this is affecting you in any way, but we did see that in this vision anyway, whether this is true or not, there were froglings like your children here that were being herded, it seemed like, back to their breeding grounds, that were also a cemetery. Forgive us, we do not understand much of what we saw in this vision, but we are trying to get to the bottom of what may be happening to this land that you have lived in for as long as history goes back. So if there's anything that you might know that would aid us in ridding the Barrowmore of this creeping corruption, we would take that and use it to try to repair the damage that's already been done. And he kind of like bows, and he's got like a low charisma. He's like uncomfortable, doesn't know
Sure.
where to
Okay.
put his hands or anything.
Okay. She looks over at the other three.
I would like to know where the monolith oak is.
Okay. You meant the one from the vision, right?
The one from the vision.
Yeah.
Or just all of them in the area, and we could just go one by one, figure out. But the one from the vision is probably the most useful.
Yeah. Buka?
I mean, Mother, I need very little. I have found these companions who I now call friends. I would see that they succeed in their quest, and I will do everything to help them, even at the expense of my own happiness and whatever, liberty, if it comes to that.
Well, you guys are all good characters. I'm terrible.
And Werbin?
We like you anyway, Bargle.
Do you ask anything of her?
We're scared stiff of her, and he's really deeply concerned about this betrayer of secrets business. No, he doesn't want to betray anything else.
Maybe you should ask for safe passage out of here.
What's that?
Safe passage out of here would be nice.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You want me to ask for that? Yeah, for sure. Yes. Great mother. We seek our freedom, and we seek your blessing to be free.
So she look from the throne. This thing looks over the five of you.
Fire. Knowledge. Trees. Shields. And a path is what you ask.
Zuko nods.
Yes.
Pretty much a yes.
Zuko.
This is in your mind.
He flinches just slightly before he recognizes it. Yes, Mother of Toads. He says loudly and... Oh, yeah.
The toads that have sort of filled the path behind her kind of... They all kind of hop out of the way as if there's a path cleared to her throne.
Zuko steps forward and continues stepping forward if nothing else happens.
It appears as if they've cleared a path for you to approach her.
Yeah, he's hesitant about it though, so he steps forward. Then if nothing else happens, he steps again, and then he starts walking, waiting as it goes. Yes.
So you've approached her?
Yes.
Okay.
And for a dime and for a dollar. He actually, when he gets close, he actually goes to his knees and does a whole goblin bow to her.
You ask of me. Fire.
Yes, Mother of Toads. Fan the ember until the fire grows.
That is anathema to my domain, small one.
And she leans in.
And I would be more careful with secrets. They have great value in the hands of you and those of your foes. You will hear his voice. You must answer or flee. His name is...
And you can hear your heart beating really, really hard. And unfortunately, because of the pounding in your ears, you can't actually quite make out what she says. That's also partly because you kind of tremble. You stagger back, your eyes begin to... And your little goblin form goes... back like that. Flames shooting out of your mouth, out of your eyes, out of your ears, out of your hands. As you reach level 4!
Oh, wow. Nice.
Cool.
So you stagger back and hit the ground.
With the water.
Yes, there's steam going around in it too. And she says,
This comes with a price. Seek the trader in furs at the north of the Dwarf Bridge. Tell him his son is gone.
she leans back.
Bargle. The bounty.
Yes, mother?
She just doesn't. I guess like when Zuko kind of staggers back, the toads seem to kind of all go in their way.
There is an imbalance in this place. 3 have risen. A 4th slumbers. The key is in transit. But the 3 bend my people. Seek the Black Seer. He holds true to my ways. The others fear. The pits, the ponds, they would rise. You must ensure they slumber.
We will do everything we can to carry out this task.
Fear the 3. 1 may bring death. 3 is certain. Seek the Black Seer. He knows my call. And you hear this from the multi-eyed or the dichromatic-eyed frog.
Mm-hmm.
That Buka has, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Angus the Confused.
Approach. Oh, hold on. First, she needs to task you. Bargle.
Mm-hmm.
A man with red beard and a green eye. Find him and expose his treachery. Angus the Confused. Come. You seek the tree?
And she gestures to the side, and one of these toads kind of opens its mouth again. And there's this... It looks like a lily pad, but it's kind of puckered in the middle. And there's some kind of liquid inside. She takes this, and it's much bigger. Like, she seems now twice your size, and hands it to you. And it's something you need to kind of cup in both hands. But the divot in the bottom, you would expect this thing to just kind of fall out, but it does keep its shape. So she hands it to you.
You seek the monolith.
So you look at her, or you look down at this thing full of, or lily pad full of liquid.
Mm-hmm.
I do. I do seek.
Silence. What happens?
Angus is patient. He's
You
gonna
can
wait.
see a reflection. She has infinitely more patience than you.
Oh yeah, I know, but we're gonna wait for a while and see.
It is a live stream, so
No. I mean, not on the live stream.
Yeah.
We're gonna in the story, in the fiction, Angus is gonna wait for a minute, 2 minutes, and then eventually he's gonna take in. Am I supposed to drink this or something? One way to find out. And he's gonna.
okay, you pour the whole thing down, and your head swims. It's not water. It's something oily, and you kind of stagger back, and your head swims, but not as if you had consumed alcohol. Like, it's not the foggy whatever else. It is much lighter and more both freeing and fuzzying at the same time. What everyone else sees is you standing there, and your eyes kind of, the eyes grow wide, and you kind of look around in wonderment. Your expression shows that you are seeing things undescribable. And you guys all kind of watch this as he's been silent, and the only sound you can hear is the soft croaking of all the toads, and a kind of like a mixture of like laughing and sobbing from Angus as he looks around. This lasts about 10 minutes. Until finally Angus kind of staggers, takes 3 big steps back. You blink, Angus. You know where the monolith oak is. And you've seen the spawning pools. You know precisely how to reach there. What do you do with the lily pad? It's still in that shape as well.
Is it stiff at all, or is it like foldable?
Yep. It's empty now, but it still is stiff.
I'm gonna kind of grab my water skin and pour a little bit on it and drink another little bit out of it to see if I can get anything else.
Okay. You take another drink out of it.
Yep.
That same effect does not happen.
Yep. I kind of figured.
Mm.
So then I'm going to hold it out to the mother of toads and offer it back, essentially.
She says, just gestures.
I'm going to set it on the floor. Or in the water that's by our feet.
Why don't you give me either an occultism or an arcana check?
They're the same bonus, so
Okay.
let's do
Nice.
Nat 20.
Wow.
So what I'm going to say is you actually have a small bit of insight. You kind of like, you look down at this thing, and what does it look like when you cast Detect Magic?
There's a sort of bluish glow that emanates from my eyes and spreads
Okay.
out.
So you do so and look down. This thing is blazing with divination power. This may be a gift. It appears that she may have been intrigued by your riddle.
And I'm gonna. So I think I was leaning down to do that when I thought, wait a second. Sort of stand back up and look at it in a new light. And
So as soon as that light happens and you kind of get this look on your face and you look back, you can hear again that croaking. And the body undulates as it goes.
yeah. So now I'm trying to figure out a way to keep it from getting just wrinkled up and destroyed in my pack or anything like that. So I'm gonna sort of step to the back and think about that for a minute. While everybody else.
It's amazingly sturdy.
Okay.
It will, yeah. Like you can fold the lily pads over, stuff it away, bring it out. It's going to maintain its shape. It's suffused with the power of the Mother of Toads. However, she does have a task for you.
Yep.
The one who would call himself Lord, intends to execute one blessed by me. You will save them.
She turns to Buka.
Half-man. You do not know these ones, but you offer yourself for them. Why?
They're the first people I know who have not imprisoned me or thrown me to task against my will.
Then selfless one. Come.
And the toads again kind of get out of the way.
I follow her.
So you go up to her throne, and she leans in.
You have my gift. Now, have my shawl.
And she kind of pulls off one of these like robes from, or tatters that makes up her robe, or her wrappings, and it kind of shapes itself into a cloak around your shoulders.
So like it's like just a part of the whole ensemble that.
Yeah, so it's basically like this like discolored, tattered robe that she just throws over your shoulder, and it fixes itself, and it seems to seal itself. Like there's no clasp or anything that's there. It seems as if the fabric works its way in. If you try and move it, you can detach it and it can put it back together. It's got a strange mind of its own.
This will allow you to protect those you now care for.
And she says, why did I close the book? Why did I close the book? She says, Kev, you're a
the book on
fucking
your
dummy. Make the DM pay because he closed the goddamn book. Okay.
For this, bring me a piece of the sky.
And she leans in.
See the moon peaks. Bring me where I cannot see.
And then she turns to Werbin.
Werbin Splitstone. You seek to flee. Shamed are you? Exposing secrets.
I am not ashamed to share my knowledge with a distinguished deity such as yourself. And my knowledge is limited. I'm not as wise as some others. I hope only that you would do the same and share with me before I leave.
Then I offer you wisdom.
And Steve, you can add a language called Bog Talk onto your character sheet. You can now understand the secret language of the Mother of Toads.
Cool.
Your task, Splitstone, is to live with your betrayal.
And you hear this kind of croaking echo, as if some frogs were making sounds from some deep, tunnel or cavern.
Your path, Urban.
And leans back in.
You are dismissed.
And all the toads start kind of all croaking at the same time in a deafening cacophony. What are you guys doing?
I think we run.
Okay.
Yep.
Bow very hastily, and then just like
Yeah.
Okay. So you go running along. Now, what I would like is for everyone to write in chat. Don't hit enter yet. Type in there where this tunnel comes out.
Ooh.
So everyone type in where you think it comes out. And once everyone is ready, go ahead and put your hand up when you've got it ready to go. And then we'll hit enter all at the same time.
I can't see anybody else, so I'm.
Okay, so hold on. Okay, we're waiting on. George is ready. John's ready. Angus is ready. Steve-O, you ready? Or are you still typing?
I'm still typing too.
Oh, and Carl's still typing as well. Oh. Okay, so Steve did not follow my instructions. Said hold off and wait until everyone hits. It's okay.
By that you mean type it in and hit enter. Yeah.
Okay, and Carl, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, guys, on the count of 3. 3, 2, 1. Hit enter. Okay. We have 2 for Helix.
2 for outside of box.
So, as you guys walk out of this, the thick fog, the sound of croaking toads and frogs in the forest, or in the fog, you guys find... You know what I just realized? I've been on this the whole fucking time, and you guys have been at home. Oh my god! Sorry guys, I forgot to move you over.
No, your description was very good.
I've been
Well,
looking
and it's a, you know,
right
it was
here.
not a particularly visual.
No, it wasn't a particularly visual session, but it was just a little funny. We're looking at different things.
It was riveting, though.
As you guys walk out, we now find you walking in to Helix.
Oh.
It is evening. The thick fog is in here. And you all can see the lights and hear the sounds of activity at the Brazen Strumpet. This seems... Well, I mean, how are you guys feeling?
A little singed, a little burnt, but the ember has grown stronger.
Okay.
A little sad. I abandoned my little buddy.
Oh yeah, that was...
Though the dichromatic frog is your familiar now.
Oh.
No, that's cool.
Can it do like the same type of things? Or
Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my.
Instead of carrying her eyes, does Nugo actually, like, can she see out of his eyes now? 'Cause that was kind of what I was going for.
Who knows?
That'd be cool.
I think Fargo feels a little bit.
Well, I mean, I point to the frog. The frog knows the way to talk to your man, Fargle.
Werbin, how do you feel?
Well, he's a little sheepish. He's not quite sure what happened there, but it seems like his knowledge was pilfered. He didn't quite expect that, but that's what you get for trusting a
So one thing I can tell you, Steve, is that what I was alluding to is that Druid craft is a language that only Druids can learn.
The Druidic language, yeah.
You can't learn it in any other way. And what you taught her is how to read the secrets of the Druids.
In other editions, that would immediately make you an ex-Druid.
So,
cool.
As you guys are walking into into Helix, and all of our heroes are reunited, I think we will call it a session there.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, let's reward some
cool.
XP here.
So, me being level 4 before XP is awarded,
Yep.
I go above it now?
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, you'll be starting at 4, so you're starting at 0 XP right now.
I've been dabbling with the level up as we went.
Nice. Okay, so let's
Cool.
see here. The sessione. First off, outstanding role playing on the part of all you guys. That was really, really good.
Guys,
And
enjoy
you
my call?
too.
Yeah.
That voice was awesome.
yeah.
The voice was awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
It's great. I was imagining Kevin at like a deposition, like using that and just scaring the shit out of everybody.
I keep
And they're
my
like, yeah, we did it. We all
stupid
did it.
voices. Oh man. Well, if you know, doing that is only going to encourage me to do more stupid voices. So that's
Oh, good.
you know,
No,
my
really.
apologies. ahead of
No,
time.
no. Seriously, it was great. It was
If
awesome.
you do more stupid voices, I'll do more poems because that was fun.
No,
Yeah,
that was
that
fucking
was great, too.
terrific, John. That was
that was
really,
great.
really, really good.
Well, the
Yeah.
thing was, I was like racking my head the whole week trying to figure out what I was going to do, and then I get home 30 minutes before the game starts. I'm like, inspiration.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You just described my DM prep.
That's how I do it too.
Well, and it worked out. It worked out just as well. So.
Yeah. No, that was fucking terrific, guys. That was really. I mean, to be
I guess
honest,
when you guys, it was really cool. Yeah.
yeah, like I wasn't sure whether I'm like, well, I don't know if we're gonna be able to fill up 2 hours with this stuff, but like that felt
Yeah.
really satisfying.
No, it was great.
Okay.
I feel like I got to know
do
all
you
the
feel?
characters
Yeah.
more.
Do you feel like you've got a better sense of what's going on now?
Oh yeah.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Definitely.
So we're gonna have to circle the wagons with everyone on
Yep.
Friday and figure out what the next step is going to be. Although Friday,
Yeah.
let's see. Friday, we'll have to see who we've got. 'Cause we've got a
Yeah.
4-hour session, and it is October. Come on, Kev wouldn't just put all you guys back together to start killing people off, would he? No, come on.
I
That
can't imagine.
seems sadistic.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna get, guys. Is everybody? Am I gonna be correct in thinking that Angus is gonna try and figure out what that thing is?
Yeah, I think he's gonna when he realized that it was important.
Yeah. So
Go
here's
back to the
I'm
house.
picturing that he's got like kind of a because he's got some sort of like armor pieces and buckles and straps and stuff that he's kind of contrived a way to get 2 pieces of leather together around it to keep it
Yeah.
in pretty pristine condition.
so what? Yeah, like a comic book bag. What you will find is that when you fill this with water under the light of a moon, and the direct light, like it can't be overcast, it can't be a new moon where there's no light. You can look into it and see any place that you have been.
Oh, cool.
Buka? Actually, give me 2 seconds
Yep.
here, guys. While you guys, I'm sorry,
Yep.
I absolutely have to go to the washroom.
No,
I'll
that's
be right
totally
back,
fine.
and then we'll do XP.
Me too.
Sorry.
Me too. Me
Time.
too.
So what I asked for was knowledge and fire from her, it's kind of funny because I leveled up, and now I got new fire magic, and
Mhm.
that gave me the 4th level bard dedication feat, which increases my bardic knowledge. So
Cool.
that
Nice.
was perfect. So I might be able to help with that, identifying the thing or whatnot.
Awesome.
So I've got the Enigma Muse and the Maestro Muse together. This is worked out
And-
very good.
Arlen and Jonathan had made the right move about saying we were going to emerge near Helix.
Well, I was hoping. Like, can I
Yeah.
do it that way? Because I want to get back to like Theory of Vane, where I don't have to die almost every time.
Yeah, totally.
So I'll have to decide between Druk and Zuko. Nah. Zuko.
Now we do have like 12 characters.
Well,
So-
if one of them dies, you've got a backup already.
That's right. It's true.
I just got to pick a skill feat now.
Arlen, is Angus level 2 now, or is he still level 1?
He is level 1 right now.
Yeah, okay.
It'll depend on how much XP we get. 'cause
Ah, I gotcha.
Yeah.
What are you at now?
He's
Sorry
at
about that, guys.
No problem.
Okay, so the cloak that you have, Buka, you can take a as a let's see here. It would be a 2 action. What you can do is you can swap the place of any two allies within 60 feet of you. You could do that once per day.
Like two other allies he could swap, or himself with another ally?
Two allies. So he could do himself, or he could do his allies. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
And...
Is it called something? Is it called a cool name? Cloaca swapping, I guess.
Call it the Mother's Shroud.
Nice. That's cool.
All right. Yeah, great choice of places to go to. Would love it.
Yeah, so the I guess if you guys start doing bad things, I'm going to tell you the mother is watching, and I point to my toad.
Mother sees all.
That's
Yeah. So, then, yeah, so you're back in town. Hold on, I'm giving you XP here. Hold on. Distracted. Jeez. All right. I think that counts as a major accomplishment, guys, for reaching the Mother of Toads. And yeah, I think for tonight's session, guys, I'm actually going to award. So let's see here. For those of you who are 4th level or 3rd level in Buka's case, you guys will each get 120 XP. And Angus, you are going to get 240 XP because you are level 2 still, right?
I'm level 1.
Oh, you're only level 1. Okay.
Where are you now? How close are you to level 2?
I'm pretty close. I need 200 more XP to get to level 2.
Okay.
Awesome.
Nice. And
I'm gonna get there.
so as we know, Zuko's at 4th level with 120 XP. Bargle, how are you doing? You're at 4th, aren't you?
Yeah, with 500 XP.
With 500. Oh wow. Okay. And how about Buka? How's he doing?
He's 3rd level at 700.
Whoa! Wow, getting up there. How about Werby Werb? I know he just hit level 4 recently.
I was plus 390 from level 4, and we need to have a little chat about. I don't know what it is about our emailing, but for some reason I don't always get your emails. But need to have a look at the book again for him.
Oh, did you have me as? Are you sending myself to spam, Steve? Steve, are you sending me to spam?
No, I have special folders for you because I get so many emails from you. I just have a Kevin folder.
Nice. Okay, cool. Well then, guys, we'll have to we'll talk on Discord between now and next session about what the heck we're gonna do next, because that's
cool,
and who we're gonna check in on. So yeah, so I guess first off, for those listening at home, Sean and Brian and Mode, thanks so much for joining us in chat today, guys. I was having a little bit of trouble with my my laptop, the connection, so I wasn't quite keeping up with what was going on live, I don't think. So I may have missed some chat there. My apologies if you asked any further questions. But again, for them and for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for session 21 of the Back in the Barrowmaze campaign. A pretty interesting development. A development that is about 56 sessions in the making. Because
wow.
I think we've heard about the Mother of Toad in one of the earliest sessions too. So pretty great.
Awesome.
As always, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session, please don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section below. If you want to tell the players just how awesome their role-playing was, you can feel free to do that there as well. You can also reach me on, well, I guess first off with the channel, if you are interested in joining us live, be sure to click on subscribe and the bell icon so you know when we go live. If you want to check the schedule for when we're playing, be sure to go to the community tab of the channel. That'll tell you where, when we're playing, what we're playing. I'm also going to be linking a link to a document. Well, let me talk about that in a moment here. You'll also note that in the description of this video, there is a link to something called Heroes Save Villages. That is the charity fundraising campaign that we run on the channel. We don't monetize the channel in any way. We don't run ads. We don't run a Patreon. If you are inclined to offer any dark gifts akin to those offered by the Mother of Toads in the direction of the channel, please don't hesitate to click through that, learn a little more about the Heroes Save Villages campaign, which benefits the SOS Children's Villages International Charity. It's a really terrific charity that provides benefits and support to over 80,000 orphaned and abandoned children around the world in over 130 countries. It's a terrific organization that does really, really amazing work. You can learn all about it by following through the link, and you can learn about the different rewards that we have on offer. In addition, it's only 2-3 months off now until our rewards reset, and some of our charity sessions become available again too. So that will be kicking off in 2020. I don't want anyone to feel obliged to do that, obviously, but if you are inclined to toss any dark gifts or money in the direction of the channel, then that's the direction I would prefer that you do so. In addition, if you are interested in contacting us otherwise, you can reach me on Twitter at Dungeon Musings. You can reach me by email. My email address is dungeonmusings@gmail.com. And you can find all of us on the Dungeon Musings Discord server, where we regularly lurk. In addition to this game, we have channels dedicated to all of our other games, as well as a Find a Game group too. So if you're inclined to play with myself or any other players that are along here, Arlen has been running some terrific games of Pathfinder 2 and other games as well. In addition, there's a bunch of other folks who've been looking for people to play with. So if you are inclined on getting to the table and you're having trouble finding a group of your own, I'd encourage you to check out the link to the Discord server and see some of the fine folks that we can find on the Discord server. Also, if you want to interact with us at all too, we're on there quite a bit. So if you've got questions about why I made some bonehead move as a DM, or why the players credit the players' amazing decisions, you can do so on the Dungeon Musings Discord server. Last but not least, I want to thank my awesome players. So, Steve, Carl, Arlen, Jonathan, and George, thank you so much for playing today. And Jonathan, thank you so much for your terrific poetry.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It was awesome.
Nice, Kev.
I like doing it.
So, then, until next time, folks, thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back in the Barrowmaze on, I was going to say Saturday. It's not Saturday. It's Friday. Friday, we'll be back in the Barrowmaze. Until then, happy gaming.